Guys, let us watch this video. Let's watch this video.
This girl, she said they were three friends who lived together in an apartment in Wuse, around that zone 5 axis. So this girl said that the three of them were into hookup, and what they do is that every weekend they will get dressed, like look very pretty, look for a very nice location where they know say all these big alajis they hang out, all those big politicians, businessmen. They will dress nice, go there, go sit down, order one or two things, just sit there until those men notice them and approach them. So she said after any of these men notice them and approach them, they will bargain a price and they will follow them for the night. This girl said that sometimes they follow those men go on vacation to Dubai, other countries. They used to go on vacation with these men, like they were living large. You know how Abuja babes lifestyle they be now, flashy lifestyle, different cars. They can't drop them every day for how they were making so much money that they could literally afford anything they want, like anything we get say she wants, where money fee buy, these girls they buy. So this girl said they continue living that lifestyle for years, that they will go to where all those big men hang out and get customers from them. So she said on this very night they were sitting at their usual hangout spots waiting for men to approach them when this really rich guy walked in. She said by mere looking at this man, you know that he has money, like money they show for him body. If money gets smell, now the smell where they ooze from that guy be that, like the guy was thinking rich. She said he came with some of his friends and they were ushered to a table by a waiter, that the way the waiters were even attending to him, you know that this one a VIP customer. So then they were sitting at their table now watching those guys, observing them. She said those guys ordered the most expensive drinks in that place and they were smoking cigars. Like those guys looked like old money. When you see those guys, you know that they have money. Person no need to tell. So in their mind, they were praying and hoping that Abeg maybe some be their clients for the night. She said later that night, one of those guys came to their table and approached them, offered them drinks, asked them if they were there with someone. They said no. And the guy asked if they would like to join them at their table because the guys were three. So they stood up and joined them in their table, that they partied that night. Like those guys spent money on them. The guys had money like dollars, like naira. They had different currencies on them. After they finished partying late into the hours of the morning, the guys asked them if they would like to go with them to their hotel room. And of course they agreed because they don't see money. So they followed those guys to their hotel room. They spent the night. The next day, the guys gave them dollars. The guys drove them to their house. And she said the guys gave them about $500. Apart from the cash that they sprayed on them at the club when they were dancing. She said after that, they never heard from the guys again. They didn't keep in touch or anything. But a few months later, one of them started feeling sick. Like she became sick, very sick. At first, they thought it was malaria. But then the sickness became persistent. Like they'll buy medicine, they'll go to hospitals, like they tried different remedies. It wasn't working. They even took her to all these prayer houses, but they couldn't see anything. Like they couldn't find anything wrong with her. All the tests, nothing came out. Like it don't show that she was okay. I still say they tried everything where they fit do and the thing won't work now. And the sickness they get serious. They said to make the carry her go her village to her parents' house. Make sure something happen to her for here. They took this girl to her village when her condition was becoming worse. Like it was getting critical. They tried everything but nothing was working. And even before they took her to her village, sores were already coming out around her pelvic area, not her main private area, but her pelvic area. That the sores became wound and it became like a hole. That you can even see her pelvic bone through that hole. That was when they knew how dire the situation was. She said when they took this girl home and her elderly parents saw her, immediately the girl's father asked what was wrong with his daughter, because the man knew that what was wrong with that girl is nothing medical, it is spiritual. That the man did not even waste time. He went and called a native healer. The native healer came, did some traditional stuff, and he called the girl's parents outside that he wants to talk to them. Then immediately the healer and the girl's parents stepped outside to discuss. She stood up and stood behind the door to listen to what they were saying. That was when she heard the healer telling the girl's parents that they should ask their daughter's friends what they do in Abuja. That their daughter has not been entirely honest with them about what she does in Abuja. That they should ask her friends what exactly they do in Abuja. That someone has used their daughter for something. So after the healer left and the girl's parents came in, she said she did not even wait for the girl's parents to even ask her any questions. Immediately she burst crying and she started telling them everything. She said she was so heartbroken when she saw these elderly people crying, because according to the healer, he said there is nothing he can do again to help her, that the situation has already gone far beyond help. So she said she stayed with her in their village for about a week before coming back to Abuja. But even before she came back, she said they were already wearing their friend adult pampers because she couldn't stand up. Like if you even try to move her small, she'll be screaming from pain, because like I said, she had a very big hole around her pelvic area and she still has sores on her back. A few weeks after she came back to Abuja, she received a call from the girl's younger brother that the girl has died. She said she was so heartbroken, so the next day she traveled to the girl's village in Kaduna for the funeral, because the parents said they didn't want to keep the girl's corpse in the mortuary due to the condition of her body. She was smelling more than rotten meat. That despite the perfume, the air freshener and everything they put in that room, that girl was smelling so bad. This lady said you can't even go into the room where they kept this girl without holding your breath, because that was how horrible she was smelling. Right from outside the door, you know, say something they smell for there. Like if you don't know a person they smell like that, you think say na something don't die when they smell that bad. She said she got to the village while the funeral was already going on. That was how they buried this girl, and according to her, she said she could not bear seeing her best friend being lowered to the ground. Shortly after the funeral, she said she was sitting outside under the tree with some of the deceased girl's cousins who came, and that was when she heard the girl's cousins talking about what happened the night before. That's the night the girl passed. The cousin said late that night, the deceased girl's father couldn't sleep, that he was just sitting outside, probably from grief that he just lost his daughter. That the man stood up to go and check the girl's corpse to make sure that there was enough sand so the body will not start smelling before morning. That immediately the father raised the cloth that they used to cover the girl. That's how he saw one snake slithering out of the girl's corpse. And the man was just holding a torchlight in his hand.